Welcome back, everyone. I hope you're all fantastic. The day has finally arrived. I have a Behringer V-Amp 2 on the bench to test out. It's kind of funny, the little twists and turns the quest for making interesting guitar noises takes you on. I've checked out a lot of fun old pedals, rack gear, early modelers. It was kind of inevitable that I was going to end up on this unit because essentially it's Behringer's, reimagining of the Line 6 pod, aka straight up knockoff. Basically has the same layout. You can select different amp models here. You've got amp style controls. You can select different effect models over here. Got an effects mix. You've got a reverb control. You can do some slightly deeper editing on here. There's presets. There's a bunch of I/O options and different output options on here where you can have the cabinet simulation enabled or disabled. You can run it in stereo. There's a headphone output on there. These are very, very affordable nowadays. They were affordable when they came out. That's basically been the Behringer business model since day one. But now you can have these for well under $100, and that's under 100 Australian dollars or euro or US dollars, whatever it is. I'd say a massive thank you to John Harmon, who is one of my subscribers who offered to send this unit out to me. Send John some love in the comment section below. I've taken this out. I've done a factory reset. Let's just hear what it does, starting with factory preset number 1. This is my PRS DGT going straight into the V-Amp 2, and that's going straight out of there into my audio interface and Pro Tools with no post-processing. How bad could it be? That is so much better than I was anticipating. That is greasy. I kind of like that. I feel like I want more gain out of it on there, but what is that? It's the Brit high gain over there. So, all right, we're off to a pretty good start. Shall we just surf some presets? What does preset number 2 do over here? What is that? That's the classic clean. That's pretty good. That's pretty good. I'm not using any external cab sims or anything like that. Okay, the first 2 presets, if you picked one of these up cheap and you just wanted to use it as a practice tool with headphones, I think those 2 sounds are probably going to keep you pretty happy. And for the price these go for, it's probably worth the price of admission already, but I want to see how much we can milk out of this. So let's try some different effect combinations on this clean sound just to get started. So what is that? The compressor at the moment. Let's hear chorus and compression. How greasy in 80s can we get this to sound? That more than scratches the itch for that kind of sound on there. Yeah, it's smothered in smothered in cheese, but you know, we like things smothered in cheese around here. That's a pretty good 80s clean sound on there. What other effects can we try on here? There's just straight up like echo, delay, ping pong. You've got combinations, like you can get chorus and delay. Well, we have two different options for that. Let's have a listen to what we've got. So it sounds like the second option there is a slapback with a chorus. There's a longer echo on the first one. Let's brave the auto wire. I'm just going to turn the treble down on this a little bit. Can I bring the bass up to compensate? Again, let's see what we get. Now, getting about 2 presets in and starting to noodle around like that is generally a pretty good sign that I'm enjoying myself. So this has already exceeded my expectations. The effects on there are pretty basic, but you know, they capture, I guess, the core flavor, or they pass the smell test on there. Again, it's like the Krusty Burger thing. I don't mind the taste. And in this case, you know, not minding the taste is probably a win on there. So let's hear some of these higher gain amp models on here. Then I want to try some of them without the built-in cabinet sims and some IRs from my Axe effects. So, you know, like state-of-the-art modern, and then whatever you want to call this. But let's hear modern high gain. I love that there is nu metal high gain. You know that this is so of the time when it actually says nu metal on there. So we're going to crank out some nu metal in a second. But I want to hear what modern high gain sounds like. disengaged the built-in cab sims and I've loaded up a stereo instance of my good old LT TV Mix 7 cab IR, which you can grab for free in the video description. Let's go back to nu metal gain. I like this with the mids up. It was like pure being 14 in the early 2000s with the mids all the way out there. I really enjoyed that, but I thought it sounded best with the mids up. The modern high gain, Brit high gain, and nu metal gain are pretty decent on there. The fuzzbox sounds like a cartoon. That's not very strong at all. And the kind of ultimate V amp, well, I kind of had like a hair metal thing going on there, as we heard with me butchering some rap. But let's hear nu metal gain now with some external IRs, and I'll just kind of tweak it and we'll see how good we can get it sounding. My ears anyway, that's a massive improvement with those external IRs. It means I don't have to crank the treble control up there. That nu metal gain was pretty decent. I'm almost confident enough to say that that combination, I could definitely get by in a gig if I was using that. Like, that is totally fine. I have done gigs with way worse guitar tones in the high gain sphere. So I've left those IRs on. I've disabled the cab sim over here. You know, I think the big progression we've had in modeling since the days of the pod and this thing are the edge of breakup tones and how responsive they are. Like, super clean stuff you could get sounding amazing with the old Rockmans, you know, direct to console. It's Def Leppard Hysteria, perfect. Stuff that's super high gain, like even the Roland GP100, the early stuff in the 90s was pretty decent at that. You know, Devin Townsend used one for years and it sounded epic. It's the mid gain stuff that was always criticized. So let's revisit it. everything else on this unit, those edge of breakup chimey sounds aren't bad. They are totally usable. I think if you had to play through one of these at a gig and get through it, you're probably going to survive. You know, things will be fine. It's not a life and death kind of thing here with that. For the price that you can get these used as a little headphone solution that you can just chuck anywhere and have some fun with, you know, there are probably better options on the market at the moment. Like you could grab a Nuix Mighty Plug Pro and load IRs into it, and it's about that big, and you just connect it to your guitar. So I couldn't say go out and buy one of these as, you know, some forgotten gem that everybody is going to cotton onto, or, you know, when Josh Scott does a video with one of these and the prices inevitably skyrocket, you know, I don't think it's one of these older pieces of gear now that is worth lusting after. Having said that, you can make some perfectly fine guitar noises with this. And like I said, there's a few sounds in there that I could definitely get by gigging with. I've been enjoying playing my guitar this entire time, which is the ultimate litmus test on there. So yeah, it's exceeded my expectations. And I want to know from all of you, did you have one of these back in the day? Do you still have one of these kicking around in a cupboard somewhere? Do you use it as a practice amp or a headphone solution? I would love to hear from all of you about the V-Amp. Is it one of those things that it's just too close to the original pod and it's Behringer, so you wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole? Let me know in the comments section below. Again, a massive thank you to John for sending this unit out. John is in between jobs at the moment, and they asked if I could put his LinkedIn profile in the video description. If anybody out there is hiring, go and check out John's profile, because they were kind enough to send this over to me. Feels like the smallest thing that I can do. John, thank you so much. This was a thoroughly enjoyable video to put together. Like I said, send John some love in the comments. Go and check out the profile. If you want to get some free stuff or join my Discord server, check the video description. I'm going to play you all out with my favorite setting on here, the Brit High Gain with some ping pong delay. Have a great day. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.